The US is just not building fast enough. That's what my next guest, Patrick Newport of IHS, had to say after Tuesday's NAHB Housing Market Index released in the US showed a modest improvement in April, but still a smaller rise than expected. Patrick, firstly, what held this data back?
Well, I think the main problem is that builders weren't seeing much of a pickup in traffic. About two-thirds of the builders who responded were saying the traffic was actually down. So it's just people just aren't going around shopping for new homes.
Is US dollar performance supportive of a potential pickup in the housing market?
Well, we are going to see a pickup in housing. The question is how long is it going to take us to get back to normal? The magic number is 1.5 million. When housing starts cross the 1.5 million threshold, that means basically that the U.S. new construction market is back to normal. And right now, housing starts are running at about 900,000. We think it's going to take about 18 months for the housing starts to climb to the 1.5 million mark. If it happens in 12 months, that would be really good news for the U.S. economy. But if it takes 2 to 3 years, it would mean that the U.S. economy would probably be lumbering around as it has for the last 5 years, growing 2%. So the magic number is 1.5 million. We're going to get there, but the question is how long is it going to take? We think it's 18 months.
One critique of the US housing market is that there are few sellers, but fewer buyers who can afford the homes that are for sale. Is overpricing the issue?
No, I think pricing is more of a symptom. The problem that we have right now is that there are shortages of homes. We just haven't been building at high enough rates for a long time, and so we're seeing shortages develop just about everywhere, and that's why housing prices are rising just about across most cities in the United States. And the way to get rid of the shortages is that you build new homes. The problem is that builders are running into obstacles that are keeping them from ramping up construction to higher levels, and that I think is a fundamental problem that builders just can't or unable to ramp up for a number of reasons, are unable to ramp up and build more homes.
With one major housing report showing a somewhat grim sentiment, what's your outlook for today's housing starts data?
Well, I'm actually expecting very good numbers. I think we're going to see probably a 10% increase in housing starts. We may see the best numbers that we've seen in the last 6 years. We're going to see very strong numbers in the Northeast and in the Midwest. But unfortunately, this will be a weather-related bounce. We have very cold weather in January and February, and so homes that would have been started in January and February will be started in March, and so we will see a big pickup in housing starts in March, but that number will be deceptive. The number to watch in tomorrow's report will be the single-family housing permits, because that number isn't affected that much by weather, and we're not expecting much of a rebound in that number. So really good housing starts numbers tomorrow, but they will be deceptive. The housing market is just not picking up as quickly as many had expected to, and unfortunately, we think it's going to take another year and a half before we get back to normal.
Patrick, many thanks. Coming up today on Dukascopy TV, Ben Jones will be bringing you one of the market-moving headlines of the day in today's press review, as well as providing insight into that China GDP number. Monica Gibson will be letting you know what to expect on the FX markets in Wednesday's forecast interview, while Darren McDermott will be getting her LATAM on with a look at Brazil. From me, though, it's goodbye for now.